What it do, y'all? Bread Tuck Rob. The Bread Tuck Legacy Show. We're back. I believe this is episode 6. And the goal is to keep this thing consistent, man. One thing I know is you can't control how many people view you. You can't control if people like you or not, but you can control your consistency, man. So I want to say, in whatever you're trying to do, just remain consistent, man. You have 100% control over that. I have to snatch the label off. Ain't nobody paying me, so I can't pub them like that. It's good though. But we talking about the Pusha T and Drake situation, man. We gonna try to give this thing some context, man, because I'm looking at the whole Pusha T Drake situation, and it's disappointing to me now, man. I'm an older guy. I'm 34. I don't think the same way I thought when I was 19, 20. So beef amongst black people doesn't excite me, but I'm gonna just share some information. Excuse me. So I was watching different radio shows or listening to different radio shows to just try to add more information to what I'm seeing. Trey, what's up, fam? You know, we talking about Pusha T and Drake, man. So I think this whole thing stems back to before Drake was even with Young Money, Cash Money. If you go back to 2002, Birdman and the Clips, Birdman featuring the Clips on a song called "What Happened to That Boy." What Happened to That Boy, which was a hard song, but according to Ebro and Hot 97, this is why all this stems back. When you talk about Young Money, Cash Money, what Pusha T's issue is with Young Money, Cash Money, supposedly Birdman didn't pay Pharrell and the Clips all the way for being featured on that song. Because remember, Pharrell did that beat. So if you notice, and Ebro brought this up, if you notice, Pharrell hasn't done anything else with Cash Money. What's up, Red with the Dimples? What's up, girl? We talking about Pusha T, and we talking about this whole Drake situation, and we're adding context. And I just said that this whole thing stems back to 2002, according to Ebro in the Morning, because Birdman had a song called "What Happened to That Boy," which was produced by Pharrell and featuring the Clips. And to my understanding, Birdman didn't pay them, or didn't pay them all their money. So whereas Pharrell was kind of able to just let it go, like, man, you know what? I ain't even gonna just fool with Young Money, Cash Money. Ain't getting nothing else from me, man. Donald, what's up, fam? But where Pharrell was like, man, you know what? Birdman them, and I'm done with Cash Money. I ain't got to say nothing else. And it even looks like No Malice, which is Malice at the time. But No Malice is like, you know what, whatever. Pusha T always held on to that. Now, this is I'm going off of what I heard from Ebro in the Morning. So this stems back to before Drake. So fast forward, you go from What Happened to That Boy in 2002 to what is it? My boy the Clips put out a song called Mr. Me Too. Okay. Yep. Yeah, me too. Okay, I get it. Yep. Yeah, me too. Yeah. And supposedly Pusha T was taking shots at Wayne in that song. What year did that song drop? I want to say 2006. That was on the second Clips album. So Pusha T's taking shots at Wayne in that song. Now you have to remember, at that time, Pusha T and Malice them, they were wearing the Bapes and all that. The Bapes, the ice cream. Pharrell had a ice cream clothing line, and Pusha T them was wearing Bapes. I even went out and bought a pair of Bapes because Pusha T made it hot, or the Clips made it hot. In Sharpstown Mall, there was a store called G2. I went in there and bought a pair of Bapes for $90. Bapes was like, they looked like Air Force Ones, but instead of a Nike check, they had this fly star. It was like a shooting star, and the shoes were very colorful. I had some white, pink, and brown ones. You know, at that time, boys was wearing pink and all that, and it was fly. I matched it with this brown, and this was back when boys was wearing them big old button-ups that Jay had us wearing. So I matched it with a brown, white, pink, and brown button-up from Banana Republic. That thing was fly. But I'm telling you all this to let you know that this whole Drake and Pusha T situation, this ain't out the blue. This ain't something recent. This thing stems back to 2002, before Drake was there. Okay? So then we move on. And I forget, I can't lie, man. Wayne wasn't even going back at Push. But then we move on to, what year was that? Exodus 23:1, I think that's what it's called. But that song was supposed to be on Pusha T's debut album. But it didn't make it to Pusha T's debut album. It was either supposed to be on Pusha T's debut album or Pusha T's one of Pusha T's mixtapes. It wasn't Fear of God. So it was either supposed to be on My Name Is My Name, which is his debut album, or Wrath of Cain. But it didn't make it on neither one of those songs. It was a diss record at Wayne and Drake. See, now you have Wayne and Drake in the mix. And to my understanding, he's going at them because they're on top. Because for some reason, we got to go as black people, we got to go out at another black man that's on top. This isn't sports where there's only one champion. Because we all could be, Kendrick can win, Drake can win, and J. Cole can win. But for some reason, we want to go at the one that's on top. 50 Cent and Ja Rule. Ja Rule could have won on his side. 50 Cent could have won on his side. But for some reason, 50 has to go at Ja Rule. But we're talking about Drake and Push. So Push puts out the song Exodus 23:1, or I might be jacking up the title. But he's going at Wayne and Drake. And this time, as opposed to his other, I want to say the other disses, they were bland, and that's no disrespect. I'm saying they were bland to where I don't know exactly who he's going at. In this Exodus 23 whatever, he made it clear. He didn't say any names, but he made it clear. You signed to a man that signed to another man that signed to another man, and that man signed to the other man. That foreign 225. What's up, girl? And me getting all close to the camera. I hope I ain't ashy in the mouth, but my teeth look amazing. But we talking about Pusha T, and we're talking about Drake, because this situation stems back. This didn't start with Pusha T and Drake. This started with Pusha T and Cash Money back in 2002. But now we're on Exodus 23, where he's going directly at Pusha T and Drake. And I don't remember Wayne responding in music. Jeanette, what's up, girl? I don't remember Wayne responding in music. I remember Wayne just getting on, he either posted something or said, F Pusha T. I remember that. Mystical Woman, what's up, girl? We talking about Pusha T and we talking about DRIZZY. Fast forward. So I'm giving you context here. You had the whole Mr. Me Too situation. Excuse me. Before that, you had the what happened to that boy situation. You had the Mr. Me Too situation. Then you had the Exodus situation. Okay? And you know, Drake responds on his own time. Okay? Then we fast forward. We move from there. You get two birds, one stone. And if anybody, if I'm leaving out something, I'm sorry, let me know. But we have two birds, one stone by Drake. Drake put that out last year. That was supposed that came out around the time that More Life came out, because we thought that was going to be on the More Life album. Okay? Drake puts that out. And if you notice Drake, he's very strategic. He makes these big diss records, but he doesn't put them on his albums. He lets those things kind of live, kind of have their own life. You look at Back to Back. That was around Back to Back and I'm Charged Up. Those songs were around the Views from the Six situation. I'm giving you context, people. Those were around the Views from the Six situation, and they weren't on the Views from the Six albums, because he wants the actual albums to be to give you. He wants the actual albums to just be the actual albums that's just doing an album thing. He lets those diss records kind of live on their own. But we're not talking about Meek. We're talking about Pusha T, and we're talking about Drake. So we're looking at two birds, one stone. And Drake is going at Pusha T. Now again, nobody's saying any names, but you can imply what people are saying. And in that song, Drake is saying, man, you old, you didn't really sell drugs and everything. And Drake is responding to Pusha T. So everybody's waiting. And it was some jabs, it was some good bars, but it was jabs. And everybody's waiting for Pusha T to respond. No response. But that diss record wasn't so damaging to where you had to respond immediately, if we're going by hip hop rules. Okay? So Drake puts out two birds, one stone. It does what it does, on the low. And then he puts out Views. He continued, for More Life. And he continues to win. And also on that song, he went at Kid Cudi. And if you notice, the bars he sent at Kid Cudi were very disrespectful. He took a jab at his mental health. It was because his bro, then Pusha T. Okay. Spirit 1269. What's up, girl? We talking about this whole Pusha T and Drake situation. I'm giving you context. This didn't start with Drake. This started with Pusha T and Cash Money back in '02. I'm giving you context. Shout out to my superhero picture of me as the Green Lantern on the wall. And shout out to my Black Panther mask from Civil War. I just had to shout those two things out because they're beautiful. But Drake puts out, he gives you two birds, one stone, where he's going at Kid Cudi. He's going at Pusha T. And then that's separate from More Life. We move on. So Drake is doing his own thing. Then we find out, what's today? Today is June 2nd. We find out about a month before today that Pusha T has an album coming out on May 25th. Yo, I was about to say something about them. That foreign 225, I appreciate you, because these need to be respected. My superhero picture and my Black Panther mask need to be respected. They look nice up there, though. Thank you, girl. Respect what I got going on right here. Thank you. we find out Pusha T's about to drop a new album. The album's gonna have 7 songs on it. I say 7 songs? That's an EP, fam. That's not an album. That's not an LP. That's an EP. And if we're going by music standards, an EP is an album or a CD with music of 30 minutes or less. Or is it 39 minutes or less? And an album is one with either 31 minutes or more or 40 minutes or more. I'm sorry, you can look those up, but that's what it is. So in my mind, Pusha T put out an EP. But anyway, do it for the culture. The album cover is disrespectful. Yeah, Blueprint, BH2. What's up, fam? Yeah, so Pusha T's album cover, he had a totally different album cover. But Kanye changed it at the last minute. He said, nah, man. We gonna put the Whitney Houston bathroom up there. And I'm like, ooh. And you know, Bobby Brown ain't feeling it. Bobby Brown said Kanye should have hands put on him. That's what Bobby Brown say. And I can't blame Bobby Brown because that's his wife that's no longer living. And someone made a good point. I think it was Big Boy in the Morning when he was talking to Pusha T. He said, what if somebody took a picture of Kanye's mom and wanted to use it? That was a very valid question. But back to this situation, we find out Pusha T's putting out this 21-minute, I'm going to call it an EP. And the last song on that EP, track number 7, is Infrared. Right. Like, what's the point of it? I'm with you guys. I think he could have done a different album cover. But he puts out a song called Infrared where he's going at Drake and he's jabbing at Drake and he's saying, Drake, you don't write your own stuff. You know, Quentin Miller should get the credit and, you know, all this other stuff. It was like, and Drake hears it. And I guess Drake Drake's tired of it, because remember, Drake was the guy on Successful 10 years ago or 9 years ago who said, diss me, you'll never get a reply for it. But I'm guessing all the people coming at him over the years, he's tired of it. And Drake has come with some hard diss records. Back to Back was hard. It kind of damaged Meek for a while, but Meek recouped. So I want to say 2 days later from Infrared, Drake gives us the Doopy freestyle. And I listened to it. And one thing that made me be like, ugh, I missed it at first, but he mentioned Pusha T's fiance. But the whole song, he was attacking Kanye, and he made some great points. I'm listening to everything because I want to hear what's being said. And Drake says, you talk about me having a ghostwriter, but the man that's your boss brought me in to write for some of his album on Pablo, on Pablo. I helped write 30 hours. And it was another song that Drake wrote on there. And he's like, so how can you talk about me having a ghostwriter, but your boss has a ghostwriter? And we're gonna get back to another valid point. But the thing that the thing that set Pusha T off is Drake mentioned his fiance. And it wasn't even a disrespectful bar. It was kind of light and it was kind of, he said something along the lines of, I'm going to make it ring like something Williams. I forget Pusha T's fiance's name, but something Williams. And in the interview, Pusha T said, that's where the gloves off. You don't mention her. She don't even listen to rap. But she heard her name and was like, hey, what's going on? So when Drake puts out this Doopy freestyle, everybody's like, man, Woo! Drake got at Pusha. He got at Kanye. What is Pusha gonna do? Pusha drops the story of Adonis or Adias. I'm sorry, no disrespect. I don't know how to pronounce it. And I remember riding and checking my group chat, and I see the cover art of it, and I see Drake in blackface. Everyone has ghostwriters nowadays. I'm with you, everybody. And in the studio, to my understanding, people, when you're in there with different people say that's a good line, but add this in there. I heard it's pretty common. That's what I'm hearing in interviews. But I see this album, this cover art, and it's with Drake in blackface. And I look at it and I say, my God, I hope this is photoshopped. But before I'm able to really study the cover, I listen to the music. And Pusha, when I listen, I say, my goodness, Pusha went too far. Pusha talks about Drake's business partner and producer 40 having multiple sclerosis. Pusha talks about Drake's dad leaving his family at an early age. Pusha T talks about Drake's mom being lonely and not knowing what family is. Pusha T talks about Drake having a porn star baby mother. And then he says, it ain't no point in, Pusha T says something along the lines of, you're a deadbeat dad and all your son gets is a Adidas jacket. We're going to touch on that. But I said, whoa, Pusha, whoa? Wait a minute, what's going on? Y'all didn't even have any real issues. Why are we going here? Because now somebody has to get hurt. Because it's very disrespectful. That's what I'm thinking. Drake, what's up, fam? We talking about Pusha T. We talking about Drake. This didn't start with Pusha T and Drake. This stems back to 2002 with what happened to that boy. Yeah. But I'm saying, Pusha T, man, you're very disrespectful. I had to listen to an interview to understand why he's doing this. And in this interview with Big Boy, I kind of understood, but it was still disrespectful. Pusha T said, when he spoke on my fiance, the gloves came off. Then Pusha T said, I listened to him. I say, why does he have J Sam? What's up, fam? You already know what we talking about. I texted you. But Pusha T said, man, I had to study why he's doing this. I had to study why he has a problem with family. Like, why would you bring up my fiance? I'm getting married. Why would you have a problem with marriage? And Pusha T says that, I'm sorry, this is going to be a long video. I'm at 23 minutes now. I'm giving you a bunch of information here. And if y'all got to do something else, you can always come back to it. But I got to get these thoughts out. But Pusha T says, why does he have a problem with family? Oh, his dad left him at 5. Oh, his mother has always been lonely. Oh, he's with a stripper fiance. Oh, he's a deadbeat dad. I got to put all this into music. Now, I'm just explaining what I heard and what I saw in videos and what I heard in music. So I don't want no smoke with Drake. Because believe it or not, I heard that Drake is pretty thorough out here. Yeah, that's right. Drake, the guy who be on songs, talking about cups of the rose, chickens in my old phone. I should call when I go home. That guy. I heard he's pretty thorough out here. I heard some stories where hey man, boys kind of, you might want to watch your mouth around Drake. That's what I'm hearing. Be Great Dre, what's up, fam? We talking about Pusha T. We talking about Pusha Ton and Drake. But anyway, Pusha T puts out the story of Adonis. And in listening to these disrespectful bars that I think were too far, but as I listened to the Big Boy interview, I said, man, I kind of get it. But these bars make you go back and do research. Check this out. This is what I'm hearing. Drake, now you know Drake just signed to Adidas. Drake has a clothing line that he was naming after his son. And he was going to present that clothing line and his son at the same time. But Pusha T pretty much destroyed that whole rollout. And watch where I'm going. Pusha T was so strategic in doing this. That's why he called the diss record Story of Adonis. Because my first time seeing Adonis, number one, when I first, and I don't even think the name is Adonis, I'm probably saying it wrong. But first, when I'm looking at my group text and I see Drake in blackface and see Adonis, I'm thinking Adonis Creed from the movie Creed. That's what I think of when I see Adonis. But now when I'm looking at this, I'm seeing Adonis and I'm associating it with blackface because this is the visual I'm seeing. And I listened to a podcast that says Pusha T is so strategic. Now Drake has to change his old clothing line name, his old clothing line rollout, because who's gonna wear a clothing line called Adonis and it's associated with blackface? That's how strategic Pusha T was with it. And I'm like, wow, okay. But let's go back to something. This is where it kind of gets a little hypocritical a little bit. And I like Pusha T and I like Drake. I like them both. I could do without the beef. They're both incredible MCs. My favorite song from Pusha T is Seeing is Believing. Believe when you see it. They say that I'm the best. I'm just trying to be it. They tied me to a mountain of it. I'm just trying to ski it. That's that Open Your Eyes on the Fear of God mixtape. But anyway, this is where it gets a little hypocritical. Drake, Pusha T is saying Drake has ghostwriters, but Kanye, the guy who signed you, he has ghostwriters. This is where it gets hypocritical. Pusha T, you're saying Drake is out here cooning with the blackface and all that, but Pusha T, Kanye is cooning hard out here. This is where it gets hypocritical. And also, Drake had to do something that he never does. He tried to explain this thing. Hey man, the whole blackface thing, I had an independent project I was putting out back in 2007 that was talking about how black people, we only get these stereotypical roles and everything, but at the end of the day, it's still kind of, it just looks crazy. And the blackface thing, it takes me back to the minstrel show days. It takes me back to, I'm trying to find this movie that our good brother Spike Lee wrote called Bamboozled. I'm looking for it on Amazon, but that thing like $70. If anybody can connect me with the movie Bamboozled, because I want to watch that, man. Bamboozled relates to what's going on in the rap industry today, but I'll let y'all do your own research on that because I'm hitting 30 minutes. But I want to pretty much end by saying that, man, this beef has went way too far. I was just giving you context on this. This beef has went way too far. It's to the point where somebody may have to get hurt because you can't talk about nobody's family. You can't talk about nobody's children. You can't talk about nobody's wife. You can't talk about another man's mother. You can talk about my dad. You can talk about my dude friends, my wife, my daughter, my son, my man. That's like, ooh, then I got to see what's up with you. So I just want to say that this beef started out with with, or this beef started out between Drake and them and Wayne, which was nothing serious. It was just back and forth bars. But it really stems back to 2002 because Pusha T didn't get paid all the way for what happened to that boy. So he's always had this big issue with Cash Money. From the information I'm taking in, this is what I'm gathering. But I'm just saying, as black people, we don't have to do this, man. I would much rather hear a song with Pusha T featuring Drake. I'm glad that Meek and Drake are kind of figuring out their situation. I don't think Pusha T and Drake could come back from this. And at one point, Drake was a big fan of Pusha T. But I'm just saying that this is ridiculous. But I am paying attention to what's happening next, man. Just to have context. Just because I'm a fan of hip hop. But I pray this doesn't go any further, man. But I'm at 31 minutes. I'm going to let y'all get up out of here, man. Y'all know what it is. Bread Tuck Rob, the Bread Tuck Legacy Joe show. Thank you for joining me, man. For y'all who really rock with me. That some of y'all been in, some of y'all seen every episode, man, and I love you for it, man. Some of y'all have seen 70% of these episodes, and I love you for it, man. I appreciate you, man. It's humbling when cats are willing to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and rock with me for 20 to 30 minutes. That's crazy. But I appreciate you, man. But y'all know what it is. Bread Tuck Rob, Bread Tuck Legacy Show. Man, shout out to the Rockets. We couldn't get it done. LeBron, we have a place for you in Houston. But y'all know what it is, man. H-Town all day. Y'all mucho, take it easy.